Hey, everybody, listen, welcome in the building, welcome in the building, welcome in the building. It's Wednesday night, trending topics. I feel like we are 2 seconds from the holiday, all right? We're 2 seconds from the Christmas holiday for those that celebrate. But you know what, in the meantime, we got to do what we got to do is trending topics, and we're about to get into it, okay? So it's Wednesday night, trending topics, and the title is called Oh My. This lunatic was walking around the Walmart. As hard as it is for people to buy their food these days, you got the people wondering if they're going to get to keep their SNAP benefits or not. You going around putting razor blades and fish hooks in the bread in the baked goods. Well, listen, I don't know what's wrong with people these days, but I tell you what, if people did not get the memo that if you do a crime these days, all these cameras around their cell phones, they're going to find you. Well, you know what? They're going to find you unless you the singer David and whoever took Celeste Hernandez Revez's life, because apparently they don't plan on arresting nobody for her death. It's ridiculous, that case. But everybody else, you better watch out, because they're going to find you. Putting the razor blades or whatever else in the bread, they're going to find you. So we're going to talk about that nut job. And then, you know what? The people with the money, I don't understand it. You know what? I can make life happen with just a little bit of funds. I can. If we can't go to the movie, we're going to watch a movie on Netflix. Matter of fact, now you can watch movies on YouTube. Where there's a will, there's a way. You go to your local supermarket, you buy the popcorn, the Jiffy, the oven Redenbacher in the bottle, and you pop it in your microwave. We can have us a good old time right in the comfort of our home. You can have a picnic in your house. If you're in the warm weather states, you can have one outside too. I understand the people and the stealing money and the craziness over this money. So this woman, she stole her uncle's money to the tune of $453,000. Well, the judge slapped her to it today. She got 8 years behind bars. Now, we often talk about how the justice system is unjust. She got 8 years, but the doctor that gave the fentanyl indirectly to Matthew Perry, he gets home confinement. You got to make it make sense. Do I think she need to pay for her crime? I do. 8 years, though. But see, when you do a crime, you don't get to pick the punishment. So the judge was on one and he gave her 8 years. I felt like he should have gave her a year or 2 years or something like that to pay back that money. Didn't she? Then you come right back in this jail and then you serve that 8 years. Hustle, do 10 jobs to pay that money back. I don't know. But we're going to talk about it. And this last story we're going to talk about is nasty. Whoever put the business in the street is nasty work. John Travolta, there's a lawsuit now. And the story has moving parts, so try to stay connected. So you got Priscilla Presley, who was married to Elvis Presley. She had a daughter, Lisa Marie Presley. Her daughter had a daughter, and I want to say, what's the darn daughter name? I'm forgetting now myself too. Hold on. Riley. She's got a daughter named Riley. So Riley is being said. So let me go back. John Travolta was married to what is her darn name? Well, he's married to his wife, because I can't think of her name right now. They saying that the wife couldn't have kids. So they're saying Lisa Marie Presley and her daughter donated or gave eggs to John Travolta and his wife so they could have kids. They're claiming, thank you, Kelly Preston, thank you. So they saying Kelly couldn't have her own kids. So the Presley family donated eggs so that John and his wife could have some kids. Now they're saying that now Kelly, may she rest in peace. But how's she gonna rest in peace when they putting all this smut on her name in her afterlife? They're saying that Kelly and John's youngest son, Ben, is a Presley. He double royalty. He's John Travolta's son, and he's the grandson of Elvis Presley. They saying that Riley's the mother. Now this kid is alive. Why would they do this to this kid? The people are messy. But you know what? We ain't create the story. We just here to talk about the story because it's trending topics and we got stuff to talk about. So listen, people, y'all know what time it is. It's time for me to bring the people on in the building. I need a what in the chat. I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Wednesday night trending topics and we got stuff to talk about. The title's called, oh my, this woman putting blades in the bread. You can't even go to the supermarket now. What are we supposed to eat? If you don't have a house with some land and you could grow your own food, you're in trouble. So I guess I'm in trouble. We got the family betrayal and we got the John Travolta story. Let me bring the people in the building. Hey, in my opinion. Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Diva. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Listen, we're going to go ahead and start with this woman who had the nerve. She was putting blades in the bread and the baked goods, and people was purchasing it. Hold on one second. Okay, I think this is it.
First, now new details about a disturbing crime spree in Biloxi that caused a lot of concern on the Gulf Coast.
Now listen to this. Biloxi Police say Camille Benson put almost a dozen razor blades inside loaves of bread at 2 Walmarts. Benson is now facing attempted mayhem charges. Our Natalie Williamson is live in Biloxi tonight with the late details.
Natalie, investigators got their break in this case when they released some surveillance pictures.
Yeah, that's right, Lenise and Cameron. Shortly after the photos were released, police got tips about who the woman was and where she was. And just hours ago, they tracked her down. Tonight, these terrifying images sending shockwaves across the Gulf Coast. razor blades in loaves of bread. Investigators say 33-year-old Camille Benson placed multiple razors inside bread at 2 Walmarts. The Walmart Supercenter on CT Switzer and the neighborhood Walmart on Pass Road. Lieutenant Candace Young with Biloxi Police say this unusual crime spree started earlier this month on December 5th when a customer found a razor blade in a banana nut muffin.
Store associates, combed through their merchandise. They couldn't find any other compromised items. Thought, hey, this is just an isolated event.
However, it wasn't. 2 days later, a customer at the neighborhood Walmart found a razor in a loaf of bread. Young says police were not called until more than a week later, after someone else at the Supercenter found razor blades in a loaf of brioche bread.
They did another sweep of their merchandise on display for sale and found multiple loaves of bread that were compromised with razor blades. They also, at that time, found a muffin that had a fish hook in it. Somebody had poked those items through the plastic packaging.
Biloxi Police releasing these surveillance photos of Benson early Tuesday, and just hours after they were released, investigators say someone spotted Benson here on Division Street, leading to her arrest. One resident in Biloxi who didn't want to go on camera is wondering what everyone else is. Why would someone do this?
The fact that you even thought about doing that is just insane to me.
We received a statement from Walmart this afternoon. It reads in part, quote, "The health and safety of our customers is always a top priority. We have removed and thoroughly inspected all potentially affected products at impacted stores in Biloxi. We appreciate law enforcement for their swift action and will continue cooperating with them as they investigate." Benson's bond has been set at $100,000. Live in Biloxi, Natalie Williamson, Fox 10 News.
Unbelievable. Okay, let me just share screen again. Can you hear me?
I can.
You're freezing, Diva.
Oh, okay. I know, I am. Okay. So go ahead. Well, you know what? Let me see if it'll work out for me. Let me see. I just want to share a little bit more. Okay, y'all can still hear me? So lunatic allegedly shoved razor blades into bread loaves at the Mississippi Walmarts. An unhinged Texas woman was arrested for allegedly shoving razor blades into loaves of bread at 2 Mississippi Walmart locations, according to authorities. Camille Benson, 33, was cuffed on Tuesday and charged with attempted mayhem after customers reported finding the razor blades at a Walmart Supercenter and a Walmart neighborhood market in Biloxi, according to the Biloxi Police Department. That is her. Okay. Walmart employees told cops that a customer had first reported finding a blade stashed in a loaf purchased from the Walmart Supercenter on December the 5th. A second customer who brought an unsuspecting loaf at the Walmart neighborhood market also reported finding a razor blade on December the 8th. So she was doing this for a while. After another customer complained to the Walmart Supercenter on Sunday, employees combed through the merchandise and discovered several more loaves had been tampered with, authorities said. The police department also alerted to the dangerous stunt on Monday. Police released surveillance images of Benson on Tuesday and identified her as a person of interest. Cops are now urging everyone who bought bread from those supermarkets, from those Walmart locations, to inspect their loaves and report any findings to the authorities. The health and safety of our customers is always a top priority, Walmart said in a statement. We have removed and thoroughly inspected all potentially affected products at impacted stores in Biloxi. We appreciate law enforcement for their swift action and will continue cooperating with them as they investigate. If customers purchase a product that has been tampered with, they should immediately throw it out and visit their local Walmart for a full refund, the company said. The Biloxi Police Department said it does not believe any other stores have been targeted. Benson bond was set at $100,000. So good. She's still locked up. In my opinion, your thoughts? Do we lose in my opinion? Okay.
The bond was too low and the charges was too short. This is a whole travesty here. This woman went out of her way to unassumingly hurt so many people. You know, your parents told you a while ago, don't, you know, when you was little, don't eat the candy because people will put stuff in the candy. And granted, I never found anything in my candy, but I always thought, oh, they just being real extra careful. But when you see stuff like this, it make you think of those days when your mama had to check your Halloween candy to make sure that nobody do something to it. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. It really is. And it's sad that this woman had this on her mind, that she decided she was going to go to 2 different Walmarts and tamper with the food. You a whole fool. And I hope they don't never let her out.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Hello, Diva. Hello, panel. Hello, chat. I think she did it so that people either would stop going to Walmart or she was doing it to try to get a lawsuit. Because why is you going to do 2 different Walmarts doing the same thing and you're not putting it in anything else? You put it in the baked goods in the deli department. I honestly believe that she was trying to either stop people from going to Walmart, or she was planning on uh, saying that she cut her mouth or something on a razor blade. She had an agenda behind it. But the thing of it is, girl, you almost cost people their lives. That's not a joke. It's nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? People eating their stuff and they cutting their mouth. I'm just happy the folks got it before they did harm themselves. But yes, that's what I believe her agenda was. I believe her agenda was either to stop people from going to Walmart, or she was planning on saying that got this at Walmart and she wanted the lawsuit. But she exactly what she need to be right now, because girl, that is ridiculous. You don't know what you caused, and you think the judge gonna go lenient on you? She's done. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you, Katrina. 48.
Hey Diva, panel chat. I came in kind of late, so the end part that I heard, um, I think like it should be bumped up to like a terrorist attack. I don't think those kind of things are joking, or you meant to harm many people. And from what Katrina said, you put it in baked goods in the deli. Most people I know now, I'm gonna be a little bit more careful with like opening up my rolls and stuff like that, because most people just throw it in the oven, put it on the table and take a bite. So I think like it needs to be upgraded to like the school powers, stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you. Julius, your thoughts?
Ooh. My mama was one of the many ones who used to check my Halloween candy. And I'm giving her flowers this time around, because even when she would do the hand trick to try to feel for stuff, she didn't find anything, but she like, I had to be sure. And every time I go grocery shopping to get bread, I am a sandwich eater. I love my bologna and cheese sandwiches with my Sara Lee honey wheat bread. And the trick that my mom tells me is fill your bread. It made the first time I did it, I felt weird. I'm like, why am I touching this bread? She's like, it's just to make sure that it's fresh. But what she was doing was giving me the wisdom, because stories like this, doing that simple touch from the packaging, can pick up on something like this. And as an avid sandwich eater, a bread eater, I have the understanding now as to why I do that. This person here, I hope Susie, Zozanne, all the girls from D Block handle her behind. Because what you did was trying to cause mass panic. It wasn't no protest. What you wanted to cause was mass panic, and it could have caused many people to become unalived. So you need to be charged with attempted M, and you need to be handled in prison. That's it.
Woo. All right, we're going to go ahead and roll right into the next story. And the next story that we're going to talk about is this family betrayal, where the family member stole $453,000 from the other family member, and the judge, slammed it to her. Hold on one second.
For joining us for Fox 2 News at 6. I'm Mandy Murphy.
I'm Shirley Washington. First on Fox, a high-dollar elder fraud case takes a twist in federal court.
Only Fox Files investigator Chris Hayes was in court today when the woman accused of stealing from a relative got even more time than expected from the judge.
A woman convicted of stealing more than $450,000 from her elderly uncle tried to tell the judge she was trying to help her relative, and the judge did not hide his disgust, not only ordering her to more prison time than was recommended, but immediately remanding her into custody. Here's what the prosecutor had to say right afterwards.
There is nothing in this case to help make her look good.
Here are court exhibits of defendant Shanita Gray posing at banquets, wearing dresses Berry contends were paid for with stolen money, while other court exhibits showed Gray's relatives posing with cash she stole. Federal prosecutor Tracy Berry brought Corey Sterling to the stand, who testified about what he witnessed as administrator for Stonebridge Senior Living in Maryland Heights, where the uncle lived. Sterling said defendant Gray threatened to sue when she did not get access to her uncle's finances.
She has sued everybody in this case. And
you?
Yeah.
Prosecutors say Gray forged a power of attorney to make sure she got into her relatives' finances, and then booked first-class flights to Hawaii and Punta Cana, and indulged in brands like Louis Vuitton and Gucci, and reportedly posted one of her banquet pics online while saying she was, quote, an advocate for community justice.
The community is herself.
Judge Matthew Shelp sentenced her to 8 years in prison, comparing her to a shark. And he looked at her and said, quote, you devoured your family for greed.
I wish I had thought of that analogy, because that's exactly what happened in this case.
Gray ended up getting almost 2 more years in prison than the prosecutor requested. For the Fox Files, I'm Chris Hayes.
Woo! They said when you do you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Well, she played herself. 8 years. I hope the money she spent was worth it. Let me share a screen 1 second. So, woman sentenced to 8 years for stealing $453,000 from a widower. A federal judge on Tuesday imposed a lengthy prison sentence on a woman convicted of orchestrating a financial fraud scheme that drained hundreds of thousands of dollars from an elderly nursing home resident. U.S. District Judge Matthew sentenced Shanita Gray, 52, to 8.33 years in federal prison for fraudulently seizing control of the finances of a 74-year-old widower living in a nursing home and stealing $453,000. The court also ordered Gray to repay the full amount taken and directed that she be taken into custody immediately following her sentencing. During the hearing, the judge described Gray's conduct as predatory, stating that she identified a vulnerable individual and exploited that weakness to satisfy her own financial interests. He told the court that Gray continued to be deceptive even after pleading guilty by falsely asserting the legitimacy of a fabricated power of attorney document. The judge also noticed that Gray pursued complaints and civil lawsuits against individuals who attempted to intervene and halt the fraud, telling her she would say or do anything necessary to benefit herself. Court records show that as part of her August plea agreement, Gray admitted to approaching a licensed notary public in Georgia to notarize a document seeking guardianship of the victim. She then altered the document to make it appear that the victim had been present during notarization. The falsified page was attached to the first 12 pages of her durable financial power of attorney form, creating the appearance that Gray had legal authority to manage the victim's finances. Prosecutors said Gray used the counterfeit document to access medical records and carry out transactions that caused the victim substantial financial harm. In a sentencing memorandum, Assistant U.S. Attorney Tracy Berry detailed the scope of the scheme. Less than 2 days after learning of the death of the victim's eldest son, Gray traveled from Georgia to St. Louis and began removing personal identifying information and financial records from the victim's home, as well as from accounts belonging to his deceased wife and mother. Prosecutors said Gray used the stolen assets to fund first-class travel to the Dominican Republic and Hawaii, transferred cash directly to herself and family members, and made high-end purchases from Queen's Jewelry, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Versace. Testimony from the nursing home former director further contradicted Gray's claims of authority. The director told the court that the victim did not want Gray involved in his life, did not want her inside his home, and did not want her to have access to his finances, which he intended to preserve for his youngest son. In my opinion, your thoughts?
This a devil here. Ooh, only a devil could do this to somebody. You know, when somebody's grieving, you take advantage of their loved ones and take their money. Nothing is gonna ever be right for her. She should have got more time. It's pissing me off hearing the story. It really is crazy when greed drives you to do despicable, horrible things to people. I really don't know how these people were raised. And then you didn't even do nothing that was going to be beneficial. You didn't try to make extra money, start a business, nothing. No, you went to spend it on vacations and on luxury goods that you ain't got nowhere to go with them but to jail.
Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva, this is crazy. And I'm surprised, she came back with that power of attorney. I'm surprised that nursing home didn't look into that, because if he had all that money, they did not want that money to leave them, because they don't be playing. They take everything when you go in that nursing home. And I guess she was still paying his bill, I guess. But before I would have did that, I would have asked him myself, Mr. I don't know what his name is, but I would ask, do you want us to do this? And for you to take control of an elderly person, so you have elderly abuse on you too. This is crazy. And I can see if you took the money to make sure that his living arrangements was good, make sure his clothes and stuff was clean, doing all this. But you went down there to cover your tracks when you went down to, what was his son that passed away? She got documents out of his house too. This woman is crazy. She's nuts. That's what you talked about when people have greed over money. And like I said, you didn't take the uncle on no trips. You could have checked him out from the nursing home and took him on trips and stuff, but you don't know how bad his situation is. But you didn't do none of that. You was thinking about yourself. And y'all getting so mad about Vera and this chicken. And look at this. There was a third of $1 million. This woman is insane. This is totally insane, and I feel sorry for the uncle that's in the nursing home. Somehow he knew all about her because he told her that he didn't want anything to do with her. And then this is what you do. No, she need to be under the jail, and she don't need a bond. Let her stay in there. Let her think about this for a minute, because what you did was just awful. And hopefully, this man have enough money, because if Medicaid and stuff don't kick in, he's gonna be out on the streets, and he's gonna be out on the streets thinking that he got this money in his account, and he had a place to go. You and took that from him. That's ridiculous. Yeah, she need to be locked up and no bond. That's all I got.
Well, there's not going to be a bond. She's serving her time. She's in sentenced to 8.33 years in federal prison.
And no early release.
Yeah, I think they said with the feds, you got to do most of your time. She's screwed. And she's 53. And when she come out, she got to pay back $400 and something thousand. She's done. 48, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva. One of the things that I like really disgusts me are people that take advantage of children and the elderly, like the vulnerable. And like Katrina, and in my opinion, said the time isn't enough. But now that I know, like, she's 53, maybe it is a good time. Make her ass work real hard when she get out here and have to pay that man back his money. But you know, if you really want to know how the punishment of these people should be, I encourage people to go read Exodus and read Isaiah. Then it might make you think twice about how you treat children and the elderly.
You better talk, honey. Tell the people tonight. Julius, your thoughts?
Well, I'm carrying on with the Wednesday revival. The word also says, treat others how you want to be treated, and to do unto others what you want done unto you. That's what the word says. Now, this woman wanted to scheme, thieve, and steal, and deceive. Okay. Point noted. Now, while you in this place, you gonna recuperate all that you schemed and stole, and you're going to be done for. Another person that I hope gets street justice while she's serving her time, because it's deserved. And her uncle didn't want anything to do with her because he had a feeling and knew she ain't ish. Now, I guess this is the season of stealing and deceiving. And the Bible says, beware of false prophet. Well, she's a big old false prophet, if you ask me. Yeah. And so I will say this, folks. Have your finances lock and key. Even at your most vulnerable, be on your game and be an alert, because that's when the enemy seems to strike.
Yeah, I think what happened, she took advantage once she knew that the son had died, the oldest son. I don't know how old the youngest son is. She swooped in and took advantage. But now, like like y'all said, I hope it's worth the 8.33 years to her, and she gonna be locked up. And then when she come out, she gotta find a way to repay that money in her 60s. All I can say is good luck to her, because what you did to him was dead wrong. That money was set for him, his family, and his kids. I'm gonna roll into this last story. Try to stay connected because it's convoluted, but I'm gonna tell you straightforward. It's John Travolta, his wife Kelly Preston, married. They claim that Kelly could not have any kids. They're claiming that Priscilla Presley and Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, and then Lisa Marie's daughter, so the granddaughter of the Presley family, donated eggs or gave eggs to the Travoltas to have kids. And now they want to tell us that the little Ben Travolta, it belongs to, he's a Presley too. This is messy. And this story, they people should have died with this story in them. I hate when people come out telling the business and kids are involved. It's just wrong. You always got to have somebody that's going to run them out. John Travolta's youngest kid is Riley, biological son, the lawsuit claims. Now, Riley, she's a Presley. Okay, because her mother is Lisa Marie Presley. John Travolta and his late wife Kelly Preston had 3 children together, but their youngest kid is biologically a Presley. This according to a bombshell legal document. Priscilla Presley, former business partner Bridget, is currently suing Priscilla's son, Novarone Garcia, for breach of contract. But what's way more interesting in the new legal docs filed in the case is that she alleges John and Kelly used Riley's eggs to give birth to their son, Ben. So darn messy. In the paper, she alleges Michael Lockwood, Lisa Marie Presley's ex-husband, told her Kelly had been unable to bear her own children. She claims John and Kelly previously used Lisa Marie's eggs to get pregnant, but they no longer wanted Lisa's eggs because they didn't want eggs with heroin on them. It's unclear whether Lisa Marie's eggs ever produced a child. However, she claims a deal was orchestrated with Riley, one of Lisa Marie's daughters, to give her eggs to Travolta so that Kelly could give birth to Ben, who is now 15. She claims Riley was given an old Jaguar and paid between $10,000 to $20,000 for the deal. According to her, Lockwood told her he was so destitute he had resorted to eating dog food and wanted to use this secret about Travolta to orchestrate a settlement for himself and his daughters. And it's John with his late wife, Kelly. She claims Lockwood was incessant, telling her John needed to help salvage his career and make claims of SA against other men. The docs include a handwritten note with the words CA Facility Partners, Ben Travolta, and Kelly Preston, carry baby, scribbled on it. Yeah, you have that. And then you got a text message. There's also includes a text exchange where it looks like Ben Travolta is referred to as Priscilla's beautiful great-grandson. It's just a hot mess. Priscilla's attorneys, Marty Singer and Wayne Harmon, tell TMZ, after losing motion after motion in this case and unsuccessfully seeking to have Presley counsel a record, Marty Singer disqualified from representing her in this matter. Bridget, Kevin, and their co-conspirators have orchestrated that there is no bar too low, no ethical line that they are unwilling to cross in an effort to cause further pain to Priscilla Presley and her family. They added, hold on one second, people. They added in a completely improper effort to exert undue pressure on Presley to retract her legitimate, truthful claims. She and her co-conspirators have also sued Presley's son, cousin, and assistant. These recent outrageous allegations have absolutely nothing to do with the claims in this case. The conduct of Cruz and the others and their new lawyers, they are on their 4th set of lawyers, is shameful and absolutely will be addressed in court. Jordan Matthews, Bridget, and Kevin are heartbroken that they have been forced to file their most recent amended complaint. They have been accused of horrific acts that are not supported by any evidence whatsoever. Matthews says this amended complaint about revealing the truth, correcting the record, and providing evidence of work that was done in good faith to bring peace, resolution, and stability to the Presley family, despite being exposed to constant volatility. We reached out to a rep for John. So far, no word back. Last year, Priscilla sued her and her business associates for fraud and elder abuse. Krause denied the claims. This is a hot, stinking, nasty mess, and they're not considering that a young boy is in the mix of it. In my opinion, your thoughts?
First of all, when you sell your eggs and your sperm, you're a donor. You're not the parent. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with none of these people. This is all outrageous stuff. You also sign a document that say this stuff is confidential. So I don't even know how this stuff is out in the world like this. I don't care about you being broke. You need somebody to help you. You should have helped yourself, okay? You shouldn't have been touching the people. If you got lawsuits out for you touching people, what that got to do with John Travolta? He ain't gonna keep going with your career. That wasn't in the contract. I'm telling you, this is the most convoluted story I've ever heard of. And all in the midst of this, we have a 13-year-old, which is a minor, that is being impacted. All these people ought to be ashamed of themselves, trying to latch on to a story that has nothing to do with them. Here's the thing. He lost his wife and he's raising his son. And the one thing he shouldn't have to worry about is something him and his wife did in confidentiality coming out on all over the place. This is stupid.
Thank you, in my opinion. Julius, your thoughts?
Smells like a shakedown to me. And notice, Riley hasn't said anything. And I feel like they're trying to shake her down too. And the only reason why they didn't go after her before was because Lisa Marie was still with us. Because we all know, when it came to her kids, you don't play with her kids. She would go at them. And they don't have a care in the world that a teenager is in the midst of this turmoil or what's going through his mind. And we also have another party here that's no longer with us. John Travolta's late wife. John Travolta now, if this is allegedly true, is probably like, oh crap, what do I tell my son? And this young man is probably asking, like, is this true? Did you and mommy use this person's eggs and you wasn't going to tell me? And this young man already being a teenager, the amount of angst, anxiety, all of that. These two people who are bringing forth this lawsuit, aka Shakedown, they don't care about him. They call it exposing the truth. No, because yo two broke SOBs are broke, capital, broke in all capital letters, and you want more money. And so, this, I swear, I said it in the last story and I'm saying it again. This is the season for deceiving and stealing. These people want to deceive to get more money. And they don't care who they hurt in the process.
Julius, thank you. You ain't lying. They don't care who they hurt in the process. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva, I don't even think that the little boy doesn't care. I mean, don't care about who his original mom is. You know, because John Travolta lost his wife and a son, I think within the same year. But all he had to do was say, well, your mom had breast cancer and she couldn't have any more kids or whatsoever, you know, probably because she was going through chemo. And we wanted some more kids. And we got a person that we know, you know, to donate their eggs whatsoever. There's nothing wrong with that. And if he just tell him that, he just tell him that. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing wrong with that. We know they do this all the time in Hollywood and every place else too, IVF and everything. But these people coming after money, go get a job. These people work for their money and stuff, and y'all just want somebody just to give it to you so you can have an easier life. Leave that man alone. Leave that family alone. They ain't been through enough. Like I said, that man lost his son and his wife within the same year, if I'm not mistaken. Leave this man alone. You don't hear anything about John Travolta in these streets. You really don't. He look like he's sick to himself or whatever. So whoever trying to sue them, go get a job. And leave that man alone and let him live in peace. And leave that child alone. Like I said, if John Travolta tell him, you know what went on, that child ain't gonna think anything harsh about that because it happens all the time. And I'm quite sure he have the lifestyle that he needs staying with John Travolta. So they need to go sit their tail down and go get a job. That's all I got.
All right, 48, your thoughts?
I'm glad that I went last because like I had no idea, like my ADH brain when it said heroin eggs, I was like, what in the world? I was just, lost. So I'm glad that everybody went before me. So now I got kind of like an understanding. Um, Rest in peace to his loved ones, and like everybody else said, I think that's real disrespectful and like in my opinion said, how could you even come out with that HIPAA stuff? Like, don't they sign stuff like you're not supposed to release that? And are these other famous people eggs they used, or just like,
It is. Oh, very famous. So
oh
it's Elvis Presley's offsprings. Yeah, his daughter and his granddaughter. So
wow,
yeah.
this I don't, it's so much Diva that I don't know. I don't know a lot about it. It's a lot going on for my brain right now. So I'm gonna leave my comment at that.
Yeah, it's just here it is. I'm with that, the fact of this should have been never anything put out on the streets. And normally when people use donor eggs, they like to tell the family when they like to tell the family, not here on the streets. We don't know what the son is 15. Ben is 15 now. We don't know what he knows or don't know, but even if we don't know, even if let's roll with what if he did know, that doesn't mean all his friends and everybody at his school knew. If this is the case, because it's not something that you just go around broadcasting. My mother carried me, but it wasn't her egg. I'm not really from my mom and dad. This is really my mom because she donated the egg. Nobody does that. Nobody's walking around doing that every day. So it's very messy. Yeah, music royalty and real Hollywood celebrities. Yeah. It's very messy. I think it's messed up. And I think now, as we see with the previous story, people will do anything for money. Anything. Kill, rob, steal, lie, cheat, and say stuff that'll tear somebody else whole life up and not give a darn about their life because you just want money. It's just very, very sad. But I'm gonna stay connected to this story. But according to Priscilla Presley, it's like this group of people have been trying to extort money for a while now, and she's over it. So I will stay connected to the story. And just as a little follow-up, a FYI, what is his name? The Rob Reiner and the wife, that the son did appear in court today. He appeared in court. They had what they call, I guess, some vest that'll prevent you from taking your own life on him. He was disheveled. He didn't say much. He just responded to a question that the judge asked him. He said yes, and that was it. And that's a whole nother sad case too. But I think he's never going to see the light of day either. That's just my thought process on it. But listen, guys, y'all know the routine. I appreciate y'all being here. We had a little express train tonight. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. I'm going to stay connected with this Blaze and the Bread. This woman is going to get a whole lot of time. She messed around and she found out. Okay. The family member that betrayed her other family member, stole $453,000. You're 52 years old. And now you're about to spend 8 years in prison, getting out in your 60s, and going to have to find a way to pay back $453,000, you big dummy. Okay. John Travolta's son, Ben, I just hope this story goes away sooner rather than later, because it's just not fair to the son. Thanks, guys, for being here with me. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Choo choo.
Choo choo choo.